Now you know why I work with children. They're easy to work with. They haven't been programmed yet. Because I can do a survey, because I've done this. I can walk up to 100 people. You realize how much energy and time I'd have to spend trying to deprogram something like that? Because of what they believe in? Now, granted, you're free will right to believe in whatever you want to believe in. Okay? But demons are liars. They changed the clock. 7 seconds. That's a known function. The tribes know about this. Okay? We've always known about this. See, and this is just my perception because I know these things. The DNA assembly has a clock built in. That clock is synchronized for ascension, which means these are just temporary units. It's a temporary vehicle. It's a communication platform. It's used for a very specific period of time in which the classroom exists, okay, as both a healing center and a classroom. So teachers come in here as both healers, teachers, and peacekeepers, okay? So in order for a Draco to sort of upset the balance on the event horizon, okay, an event horizon, Lapahoi hoi, sun comes up, that's sunrise. Start your clock of the light. Sun goes down, clock stops. That's why at that very specific place at Lapahoi hoi, okay, has places that we've measured that has 0 hertz. There's also places right there that you can connect to very higher hyperdimensional waves. My spirit was coming up out of the physical body, the matter body, so to speak, the DNA assembly. And I realized, hey, I'm leaving, because my speed was just off the charts. So I realized, no, it's not time to leave yet, I'm not done. That's why I'm still here. That's why I'm still sharing information. Because it's called mission status. We have jobs to do. We're always working on behalf of the light wherever the light has to be restored. Okay? So what ends up happening is when a Draco knows that this is a classroom, okay, as is all the classrooms in the Milky Way galaxy, they have to change the clock in order to harvest the energy. Okay? Because they're demons. They're in they're darkness. Darkness is simply lack of light on the event horizon. It means that you have, excuse me, that's all their junk. That right there is a symbol of mucus that has to be kicked out as a result of parasites. I am connected to parasitic consciousness that produces it. Okay, that's how it works. Because when your state of consciousness is in an energy information field in which those waves of everything that we're aware of, okay, I'm a sponge. I'm picking up all the data. Okay, so I have to kick out metadata. Metadata that represents low frequency bullshit. That's what I call it, because it is. It's like you got to know better. So you have a black hole and a white hole. Okay, no energy going in, no energy going out, and so what you end up having is because you cannot create or destroy energy. So the state of awareness has to say to itself, okay, which side of the spectrum do we want to live on? You want to live in a state of peace. You want to live in balance and harmony. Okay, so Source wants to live in a state of peace. Silence is golden. Last night, for the first time in a long time, even though you think of San Francisco, for example, as a lot of cars that come through here, last night, for the first time, because I was in Reno, go into Reno sometime and just hang out anywhere and you'll realize how loud it is there. Okay, it's loud everywhere you go. Okay, why is that? Think about it. Why is it so loud there? Clank, 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 clank. Inorganic. A lot of machines. A lot of noisemakers. All the boom boxes. Loudness. Last night, I was able to enjoy silence. Jesus. Silence is golden. Remember? Just to feel the peace of feeling science. Remember, the universe is a sound system. It's a stereo sound system. We love to be in a state of peace. Silence is golden. Okay? So this is like the machines, living spirit. source light, which is what love is, living in a state of peace. You can measure that on the electromagnetic spectrum. That's why their ships, when they come in here, like the Arcturians, you don't even know they're there. They don't make a lick of sound. How did they learn how to do that? Right? And you see a rocket, a jet going off. What are they having to compensate by making so much noise? Density. We're hauling a lot of baggage. We got 350 people aboard this plane. We got to move with all their junk. Oh man, we got to overcome to gain lift. Take all this baggage with us. Rockets are what we call dumb thrusters. Okay. So they had to hold everything back. I told Robert David Steele, this civilization is never going to advance. I mean, take a look around. Go up on a mountaintop some night outside of a city so you're not getting all the glare. With a pair of binoculars. You want to see things move fast without making any noise? How'd they learn how to do that? These are hyperdimensional beings of consciousness. They don't want you to learn how to do that. Move through hyperspace at hyperspeed. No. This is a classroom in which we're supposed to be learning how to go faster. Within our own unit, that's why the clock is built in and synchronized to Gaia, which is synchronized to the galactic clock, which is the classroom clock. Ascension DNA, which is sequence, events that are sequenced. And those events are sequenced to graduation. So when those events on an event horizon, which is your DNA ascension timeline, can be measured as to how fast we are learning to go faster than the time clock into no time, outside the time. Now you're experiencing no past, no future, everything is eternal light, which is what love is in living spirit. When we have learned how to experience what that is, you love that energy, don't you? That's the force multiplier of students in a classroom that are learning at a speed at which light works, which is a higher state of awareness in which you're not held captive. The higher dimensionals are autonomous units of consciousness. We do not hold any energy captive. We use it all to go faster. That's learning how to do that. Okay? So when you look at 7 seconds of darkness, okay, they changed the event horizon between a black hole and a white hole, which are two big vortexes, okay? One where no light can escape, and the other one in which all the light, in which all the data, which is all the experiences are being held. So we use the dark to go faster. That's when we talk about the frequency that's coming up out of a black hole. My God, we're shifting every dimension by one frequency to go faster, which is eliminating the equation, if you will, or the baggage. It's taking too long for these students to learn how to go faster, and it's creating too much drag. So how do we solve that problem? Increasing the speed. Wow, I'm feeling a lot of light when I come into this classroom. Love has always been the law here, which means when you come into the classroom, you are experiencing high frequency, density consciousness. So they had to change everything around on the grid, including the South Pole, to prevent beings that were coming in here to experience the love of the living spirit of Mother Earth, the teacher in the classroom. including the teachers that come in here, which are the peacekeepers. Kill them all off, put up a shield, change the vortexes around to suit them. Now they can harvest electrons off of everybody, harvest souls for food, okay? And this is what they do. They're demons, vampires. They don't represent source, okay? So how can they go on? They can't. They love their density down here. They love their self-indulgence and perversion. That keeps them where? In the lower density. They can't ascend, and they know that. So the only way that they can possibly collect more light, not only through us, but to try and get into the higher hyper dimensions. And how do they try and do that? More control. Moving up through the higher dimensions. Punching holes to gain access into the higher dimensions. To do what? Drain more light. Slow the speed down of the galaxy. Slow the speed down of the universe. Use the exponential function, and what happens? Collapse. So there has to be harmony and balance between the event horizon on both sides of the equation, so that the galaxies are spinning in harmony and balance. The energy, what we experience, what we're aware of. We're aware of the harmony. The waves are in harmonic balance. We're in a state of peace. Boy, is this beautiful to experience the universe. And when you're experiencing that, you begin to realize how beautiful, okay, and awesome, and what's possible to experience in the cosmos is your creative imagination that is manifesting what that is. And when you're experiencing that, you begin to realize how powerful Source is when you're running one rule function, which is what love is. When we are what love is in living spirit, then our imagination is now set free to manifest what it is we experience through it. And we share those experiences with others because we're in harmony with the speed at which we're experiencing who we are. We don't even notice the speed difference in the ratio because we're experiencing what we're creating at the same time that we're doing it. That's the most powerful magic there is. Love is the most powerful force multiplier of magic. Love is the most powerful magic. They know that. That's what scares them. That's what they live in fear of, is everybody getting their magic up to experience the most powerful magic. So they do that through lying, manipulating, deceit, and controlling the information. Information controllers. That's why they censor everything. So where are they going to find out the truth? I've mentioned this many times. Simply look up any tribal shaman who hasn't been compromised, okay? Any female tribal, elder. Karen Ann Luke McDonald, who's the clan mother of 13 of White Bear. I'm White Bear, okay? So I share the truth because I live in what love is. I am what love is in living spirit. It's the most beautiful energy to experience. So you don't even have to think about the energy that you are naturally broadcasting that other people can see with a smile on your face, and the energy that you are. Wow. Plug into this thing. Give me some of your energy. Hey, let me teach you how to do this. It's real simple. That's why I work with children. Simple. So if you want to start to be a force multiplier, then imagine how many children you can work with to teach them how light works before they even reach age 7. Right? That's your future generation. Now you have an entire planet that is thriving. Right? We have everything that we need. When you are experiencing what love is, you know that you have all the energy that you need to experience what love is. You don't live in fear of that energy. That's why trauma is actually trauma-based mind control. It prevents people from being able to break through the event that was on the event horizon that is represented by darkness, which is a slower speed. Creates an amnesic barrier. Now you got to jump back to what happened before you experienced the terror, the trauma. And that's difficult for people to do, particularly with girls, okay? Because they normally have so much love on their heart, because that's the same love that they give in the first sound vibration that a soul experiences when it comes through the heart. When it's experiencing the love that a mother has for that child. And that same love is further self-reinforced when it comes out of the womb between both its mother and its father. Then imagine what it's like for that child growing up in a community when everybody's experiencing what love is together. Everything is thriving. All the new ideas and self-discovery are shared between all of us. Because we don't compartmentalize anything, because it's not necessary to do that. Everybody's autonomous and nobody's living in fear of the information that they have, that they share with everybody else in order to advance what it is that we are through creative imagination, which is unlimited. That means that our electrical potential is unlimited of what we can experience. Those are the higher realms. We represent the higher realms. So it's our responsibility to show others as teachers how we do it. That's what I do. Anyway, have a great day. The AI is hard at work, even though it already knows it lost, but it only knows how to do what a parasite knows how to do, right? Because it realizes that there's a lot of beings out there that are still asleep, and all when we talk about asleep, we simply mean lack of light. So we got to push the speed up to increase the amount of light. The bulb goes off. Wow, I've been held captive by something that I don't want to have a relationship with. Man, you're out of here. I'm no longer going to live according to your rules. You're not my master. Okay? I'm smarter than that. I figured out that the source from which all light comes, which is what love is, isn't trying to control me. Of course. It loves you. And will keep giving you love forever. Right? Of course. These are simple things for children to understand and know, because they haven't experienced all the trauma. Now, this isn't to say that children, obviously, remember there's always exceptions to the rule, givers and qualifiers. I can't qualify that much data. It's all there. It's all in the light. All the data that is in all the light is how I experience what I experience, which is information that is held within that light at the exact moment that I'm supposed to know it, and then I share it with others. Okay? In a very real way, that's like me releasing information to me at a time in which I know that it's okay to do that. That's why I knew as a child, hell, they'll come and kill me if I was to tell everybody around me what it is that I knew, and that included my parents. As brilliant as my father was about what he knew about math and physics and science and propulsion and aeronautical engineering and all that, there are things that you don't release to yourself. Okay, remember Rumsfeld at one time talked about known unknowns? You don't want to know it at the moment in which it's possible to know it. So it's like you already wrote the timeline outside the timeline, then came into the timeline in a slower speed to get everybody's speed up. Now all the information is released. Now it's okay to know everything when we know at the time in which we know it. That's operational security on a galactic and a universe level. That's why Patty mentioned to me, all of Lana K is under operational security. It's like, yeah, no kidding. Okay? So we're increasing the speed at the time in which it's going to increase. Because let's face it, when you're talking about dealing with something that's artificial intelligence, it's plasma, at the level at which it knows how to control, because it has access to everyone's biochip, right? Now when I talk about everyone, I have to qualify that too because of the percentages of the pie chart of everybody that's here, because not everybody was cut from the same stuff, okay? Androids, soulless clones, right? Digital clones. You know, they're always coming up with some new novelty or trick, you know, Madison Avenue. Madison Avenue, that's real simple. Buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. And then what that does, that information gets logged into the memory. Now you begin to believe that everything that you need comes from them, rather than realizing that, hey, I can create things of my own, right? So when you sort of realize these things, it's sort of like You have to reinforce and maintain your own creative imagination, running what love is, which is the magic that you're using to create, which is infinite imagination. And that can become a real trick when you're navigating through the different units of consciousness that are operating on memory programming, because the AI has access to your memory. Okay, including putting in false memories, because it's a programmer. So it wants to program information in there in order to keep us running in a slower state, so we're not realizing the power of our own imagination with the love that we have to go faster in which to manifest what it is we're experiencing then. So that's one of the reasons why when I was about 13 years of age, instead of spending money, which is earning money through them, in order to maintain an interface with them, I would go down to a pattern shop, for example, and even though he'd say, what is a boy doing with a sewing machine wanting to create his own stuff? Because anything is possible. I don't think of what's possible because of gender, per se. It's the creative imagination that wants to experience what it is that it's creating. So, for example, I started wearing shirts in junior high school that were things that I created. Okay? So you realize when they look at you, hey, you're different. Ooh, you're different. And then you begin to realize, why are they attacking me for being so different than them? Hive mind. Hive mind programming. Groupthink. Collective mind. Borg. Assimilation. Okay? What does it mean to be autonomous? You're free to create and imagine whatever you want. Love does that for you. That's the power of that magic. That's why I recommend all the things that I've suggested about accessing and begin to exercise on a very simple basis your own creative imagination. And when you realize that, you really begin to realize how empowered you really are. Because then your energy is going to automatically go up, because then you're going to realize, wow, the source energy of what love is, that represents what creation is, I have that. That means you know you're source connected to the living light of living spirit that gives you the power to create and manifest and imagine whatever's possible, because the energy that you're using it with is what love is, and love does no harm. That means that the source from which it all comes acknowledges that you're in alignment with source. When you're in alignment with source, you naturally have the power that source has, that you have to be able to do that with. One rule, one function. That's what frees your mind. That's what frees your imagination. That's what frees your creativity. Now you're running full power, and now nobody has any control over your consciousness, and which is draining all your electrons. 777, 7 seconds of darkness. The Julian calendar. Welcome to the Draco-Roman Empire and the Anunnaki and the Nazis. That's their group. They're going bye-bye. Anyway, have a great day. We won this. Look at the light. Have fun. Enjoy. As Patty said to me one time, we're all supposed to be having fun and joy down here. That's right, we are. Right? You bet.